European Commissioner for Research, Innovation and Science, Máire Geoghegan-Quinn, has been visiting. We caught up with her. Next year is the 50th anniversary of the Young Scientist. How important is this event to the country?
I think the event is incredibly important, and when you see how it has grown from 230 or whatever it was here 49 years ago to what we have here today, I think that shows the achievement and the impetus that it has given to Irish students to get involved and to use their curiosity and creativity to be able to compete for this very prestigious prize.
There are over 550 projects on display. Are you impressed by the standard?
I'm incredibly impressed. Obviously, I haven't had an opportunity to visit every one of the projects, but I had a sample of the projects. And what impressed me was, first of all, the amount of work that had gone into it, the amount of thought, but also how articulate the young people were in presenting what they had done and why they had done it. And I suppose on top of all of that, the incredibly practical application of everything that they have in front of us here today. So to me and you and everybody else, what they're presenting today can have a hugely positive impact on our lives.
How does or should this type of event translate into jobs for the economy?
Well, if we've been saying all along in the European Union, and companies like BT and Intel and others have been saying the same thing, that the growth economy is the knowledge economy. It's the economy of the future, not the economy of the past. It's where the high quality jobs are going to be, highly skilled jobs. If we just look in the research area, in the next number of years we'll need another 1 million researchers, new. We also want to see scientists and researchers getting involved, not just in academia, which is very, very important and should be encouraged, but also getting themselves involved in industry. And I think this is one of the things that I certainly would love to see, is academia and industry working closer together, and they are, but increasing that, and so that people can move very easily from academia to industry and vice versa. And I think that's important, and I think that's where we see the jobs growth for the future.
The vision that the founders of the Young Scientists exhibition had some 49 years ago, is more of that needed now?
I think it is, and I think in the European Union we have been supporting very strongly different methods of teaching to help teachers. And you know, people would say to you very often that it's only privileged schools that can actually enter their students into a competition like this. But if one looks at what has happened over the history of the competition, and you see where a school like Sing Street, for example, has been the school that has won most often, that came from the passion of one teacher, Jim Cook, who has this huge passion for science and inculcated that passion in his students. And I think that's what you see, that's certainly what I saw today going around here, where the teacher is passionate, communicates that passion to his or her students, and as a result the students get involved. And what I've been saying to them all is, I hope you're going to continue a career in this whole area, because I think science and research, as I said, and innovation, because they lead to innovations, that's where the future is. That's where the good jobs are for young people. And for parents, I would say, encourage your sons and daughters to get involved in the whole area of research and science.
How can you encourage more secondary school students who are interested in science to take up science, maths and engineering at third level?
Well, we're trying to do this, and this is a problem not just for Ireland, it's a problem all over Europe, but it's also a problem, for example, in the United States. Because it was traditionally seen that science, technology, engineering and maths were very difficult to get high results in, to get high marks in. I think now people are suddenly realizing that, you know, the good jobs in the economy of the future are going to be in these STEM education areas. So now we have to concentrate. We have to look at how we teach these subjects. We have to look at how we encourage more and more students to start the subjects and to continue in them. And I think that there is a focus on that here in the education system. I think in Europe there's certainly a very strong focus, and for me it's very important that we get young women, young girls involved in science. So we have a whole program that is continuing. We launched last year, it's continuing this year and will continue, which is called Science It's a Girl Thing. And we've rolled out a program in a number of member states already, and that'll go throughout all of the 27 member states. I think that's important. I think all of us have a role to play, complementary role together. So teachers, schools, students themselves, parents who are the first educators, and the most influential very often with their sons and daughters. But also I think industry has a role to play and academia has a role to play.
Should more countries across the EU and across the world be following this model for a Young Scientist exhibition?
Well, if you look at what has happened in Ireland, for example, you have the Galway Science and Technology Festival now, which is incredibly useful and important and significant in the calendar of the science year. You have other exhibitions and competitions like this growing up around the country. 14 of the winners of the Young Scientist exhibition went on to win the European competition. That's very significant. So what we've been encouraging other member states is to take a leaf out of the Irish book and to replicate what's happening here because of how successful these young winners have continued to be as they've gone along.